Hello, my name is Hugo Prévost. I'm the co-host of the SVGA podcast. Here is a DLC number 2, I believe. This is an interview I recorded earlier this week with one of the developers of a game called Songs of Conquest, which was presented first of all in 2019, but also at E3 this year. So here it is. Have fun. So hello, I'm Hugo Prévost, of course, and I'm with Carl Toffel today. Hello, Carl.
Hey, how's it going?
I'm fine, and you?
Yep, I'm pretty good.
So,
nice to take a little break for an interview.
Yeah, Carl, you are part of the Lava Potion team. You are described as a warrior designer, so that's going to be one of my questions a bit later. But yeah, so we are here to talk about Songs of Conquest, a game that made a good impression on me during E3. I saw the trailer and was like, okay, I have to talk about this, especially since. As we talked before the recording, I'm also hosting, of course, SVGA, the podcast about retro gaming. So it's exactly in the type of games that we like to talk about. So, awesome. Songs of Conquest could you describe it to me in a few words?
Well, I mean, it's an adventure strategy game, meaning it's a mix between like your classic adventure games, RPG games, and like a 4X grand strategy games. And it's quite a lot of those games were made like in the 90s, early 2000s, like Heroes of Might and Magic and Age of Wonders and Disciples and all those really like great games. And then for some reason, the genre kind of stopped a little bit.
Yeah.
And so we were actually looking a lot at like Heroes 2 when we started out. But when I grew up, I actually played Age of Wonders way more. And then we started talking about stuff and we decided like, yeah, we want to like make a game that's sort of based around like, you know, we'll start by looking at Heroes and see what we really like there, and then we'll like base the game on that. But really like the focus is making a game in that genre, like in the adventure strategy game genre, where you get a little bit of everything in a very like nice way.
You talked about Heroes 2 and other games for inspiration. You are what we may call, can we describe you as a veteran of the industry?
Not me.
Okay.
I'm like the only one in the team that's not a veteran. I'm actually, I transferred over from another entertainment industry into computer games just for this game.
Okay.
So I worked as a director and actor, singer, and that kind of stuff for a long time before this, for like 11 or 12 years.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I moved over and started working on game design and narrative design.
Because when we look at the team of Lava Potion, there's 4 people, first of all. They all seem to have a lot of experience in the gaming industry, either for mobile games or the kind of games. And my question will be, do you think, because you talked about how the genre died a bit around the beginning of the new millennium, and do you think it would be wise? I mean, let me rephrase that. Sorry. Would you have done the same? Would you have gone and say, "Oh, I want to do that," if you were a group of newcomers, instead of having this baggage of experience to draw?
I would say no, probably not. And I don't even think we would have the backing to do the game, because we have like really great backing from our publisher and in Coffee Stain. And they were super enthused about us like getting into it and making a game like this. And I don't think the project would have happened if we were just like, if we were a bunch of rookies, so to say.
I want to go back to your description on the website.
Sure.
It said you're a warrior designer. I'm getting the gist of the joke, of course, but what do you do exactly in the team?
Well, I'm the game designer, so I'm the lead game design. So I do the mechanics, of course, like within design, like what numbers go where and how do we build the general design and the balancing and all that. But I also do like narrative design, like what's the story, what's the lore of that. And those are the 2 main things. And then I do Yep. Yeah, everything that has to do with design and lore and story. And I also write. I don't do anything of this by myself. I always have help from people. So I'm also like a big part of creating the songs in Conquest, and we have like a really great composer who does the huge amount of legwork, and then I do help him out a little bit.
I see. You talked about lore and mechanics. Was there a moment when you looked at all these games that were published 15, 20, maybe now 30 years ago? Wow, we're old. That's
we're old.
Was there a moment where you said, okay, there's too much stuff. There's too much to draw from. There's too many inspirations. I need to streamline this a bit?
No, I mean, in a way, yeah. I spent a lot of time. I mean, most of these games I've already played like hundreds of hours coming into the project, but a bunch of them I hadn't, like, Fallen Enchantress and Disciples and what else? I hadn't actually played King's Bounty so I got in a whole bunch of them, and then I just, instead what I did was like, I looked at all these games and I'm like, okay, what do I really like in this game?
Yeah.
And why do I like it? What's the essence of it? Like, why do I like this thing? And how can we, if I like this thing and I like this other thing, can we have both of them in the same game? Will that work? Or will they just collide with each other and it won't really be nice? So it's been really nice to draw upon things, but we start out with a really huge and super complex game just because we draw about from all sorts of different sources. Most of us are also really big fans of different board games. So we drew upon sources like that as well and started trying to make what we wanted. And then it's just like simplify after that.
Was there a reason? Because if you look at the trailer, lots of fantastic pixel art. Was there a reason to specifically choose that kind of art instead of... Because there seem to be two kinds of art style. Maybe I'm wrong, but there's this pixelation on the map and during combat, and in the menus it's all... I don't want to say polished because that's not the right word, but it's more modern, maybe.
Yeah, it's just different art styles, really. The boring reason why we don't have pixel art in the big pictures is that it would take too long. Like, a lot of people look at pixel art and they're like, oh, that's like, they do it because it's faster. It's just like, no. The stuff that you see in the game that's not pixel art, it's not 100% correct. We do like that style as well. We do like the mix of it.
Yeah.
But a lot of it, we started talking about making it not pixel art just because it's faster. Like making a huge portrait like that in pixel art, that's months of work.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's it takes so much time, way more time.
I see. I think the game was first announced in 2019. So yeah, it's been around 2 years now. What's the feedback from the community so far?
We've actually just had really great feedback. It's been really good. We first announced, because we'd been working on the game for 2 years already when we announced in E3 in 2019, mainly trying out different things, getting feedback from different people and trying out different models. And then we announced in 2019 just to see, like, well, people like this. This is something we should use. And the feedback was super positive. And we're like, all right, awesome. Let's keep working. And then we started up, like, we got a little community on Discord. And, people who were really interested in the game. And it's been really nice to have them. And now with this, we've had, like, way more people, because now we actually show the game in a more, like, real way, which is what people has been asking us constantly for like 2 years. Like, can you actually show gameplay? And we're like, nope, no, we can't. We don't want to.
And do you feel it coming to a point where the game is, because the release date for now is first quarter of 2022, if I'm correct?
Yep.
So do you feel you're coming to a point where the game is, I don't want to say mostly finished, but because we're still in June 2021, and there's always delays and setbacks and...
Yeah, but no, yeah, it is in a way mostly finished, meaning that 90% of the features in the game are actually like in place. And you can actually do most of the things in the game right now. But some of them you can't do in the way we kind of intend them to. So there's like workarounds and stuff like that. But yeah, like it's in a playable state right now, and it's been in a playable state for a long time, really. But
and do you plan on doing a early access, or do you plan to stick to the old formula of launching the game? And
no, we don't plan on an early access.
Okay.
We don't want to say like for 100% that we're not going to do an early access, because you never know what happens along the way. But it's not even in our plan a little bit. But I don't want to say like for sure it's not going to happen, because you never know. But no, we don't plan to do an early access. We don't plan to do stuff like that. We plan to release the game as it's supposed to be, kind of thing.
Well, that's good to know, because you always have these kinds of game where it's an early access for 2, 5, 10 years, and eventually it's official release. But it's
I know. I've played so many of those games, and I think it's a fine way to go if you need to. Because if you're like, we would really like to keep working on this game, and we don't feel that it's done, but we do need to start selling the game so we can keep working on it.
Then
early access is a really good way to go. Or if you really need a lot of testers to the game, you're like, we don't know, and it's great. So I mean, as long as you go into early access for like if you want to say it like for a valid reason, I don't have a problem with it. But I do see a lot of games just doing it.
Are you targeting the nostalgia audience, the people that, like you said, like you play
for sure,
hundreds of hours, or are you more trying to get some don't want to say a new audience, but
I mean, we want both, and I think the hard ones to get are the ones that are not nostalgic about this. I think, because I mean, I can only speak for myself, and I can speak for the other people who kind of grew up playing Heroes and grew up playing games like that in a way, because I know how I would react if we have a new King's Bounty on the way. We're all like super hyped about that. And it's just like, so I think a lot of just like, the people who are just nostalgic about it, as long as the game seems fine, I think they're just going to be like, unless the reviews are like, no, this game sucks, don't buy it. I think they're gonna, I think they're gonna. We still need to make a good game. But I would love to get, and the design has been very much towards like, appealing to the new crowd as well, not just the people who are, my age and so on. It's just like, because. And a lot of the community, it is kind of fun. Like, you can see a lot of people who are like, yeah, I'm super into this game. This seems super exciting. People are like, yeah, so what do you think about Heroes of Might and Magic? And they're like, yeah, I never played it. And I'm like, oh, well, of course you didn't. You're like 22.
Well, I mean, age is not necessarily a factor.
No, it's true. It's true.
But still, if you haven't grown up with the game, you have less chance to just stumble upon it. In the depths of GOG somewhere, there's a sale. Oh, that's a game older than I am,
and then you need to kind of like bypass what you think are ugly graphics and all that. You need to be like, you need to be the kind of gamer that's into that, and then I think you'll love. And like, it's also like we're not trying to, in any way, replace any of those old games. I don't think we can, because they're great in so many different ways, and we just hope to be great in some similar ways and some other ways as well. And I don't think we'll replace any of them. I think they'll be played just as much after our game comes out as they are now.
Yeah, but still times have changed, because and obviously game mechanics have changed too. And I'm guessing there won't be an hot seat mode in Songs of Conquest, probably.
There will be.
Oh, wow, that's great.
There will be a hot seat mode, and then I'm like, no one's going to use it because people don't sit next to each other anymore. But we really want a hot seat mode. So yeah, there'll be a hot seat mode.
Oh, well, this
be like 10 people using it, but there's going to be a hot seat mode.
This is taking me back. Wow, that's fantastic.
It's just like, because for a lot of us at the office, we just have such fond memories of sitting next to each other and passing the mouse, and just like, it's your turn, it's my turn, and it's just like,
yeah.
If we can get like 10 new players in the world to do that, I'm just like, well, then it's worth it to just have it in the game. It's just, I know, it's just like, I think hot seat is it's such a charming thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, we really wanted it. We really wanted it in the game, even if we realize it's not going to be like used a lot, but I hope it will be, because I really think adventure strategy games are just amazing to play hot seat.
Yeah, just have to not look at the screen directly to
I always played, that's always the thing, like, okay, you gotta go away, okay, it's your turn, and you're gonna run around in the room. It's way easier if you play co-op. So
Carl Tolfeld, developer at Lava Potions, working, of course, of Songs of Conquest. I'm gonna get to it. It's Monday morning over here, and I definitely haven't had enough coffee yet. So thank you very much for being with us today, and we're very much looking forward to play Songs of Conquest when it's gonna come out. So Q1 2022, and we'll hope that it won't be delayed too much. If it has to be.
We as well.
Well, thanks again, and have a nice day.
You as well.